Let's move on to Marc Pelosi going to Liverpool, and this will be the last segment of this conversation. Marc Pelosi has a choice because apparently he has been offered something to come to Liverpool. And all I wanted to say when I heard that, Brett, was I hope he doesn't have a case of Luis Gil and decide not to because he's not ready or doesn't want to be around away from mommy and daddy. I'm sorry, Luis, but when Arsenal comes a-calling, you answer the door and you go. And you go. Because if your life is soccer and Arsenal knocks on your door and says, we're interested in you, come on down. Hang out with us. Come learn some stuff about soccer. You don't go say, yeah, it's okay. I'm going to go play in the MLS. Come off the bench for a few years. Hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, and we agree and we disagree on certain aspects as far as Luis Gil goes. I will jump into that. Actually, I'm going to talk about that now. Yeah. I agree with you on the fact that if Arsenal comes a knocking, you answer the door and you immediately say yes.
Yes.
If your life is soccer, I don't care if you're concerned about being homesick or leaving your friends or your education or your family or whatnot. You say yes.
Girlfriend.
I can't stress that enough. But the fact that he wasn't mentally ready kind of makes me say I'm glad he didn't say yes. Strictly because that could, in all honesty, with him not being mentally ready to move abroad halfway around the world, it could, in fact, hurt his ability, hurt his development.
Oh, come on!
I'm just saying, not everybody's willing to leave everything behind.
Oh, give me a break. So he's soft, is what you're saying, and what he needed to do in order.
I don't say that. I don't know the guy, and I don't want to offend him.
Well, I'm saying it then.
I'm just saying that it just seemed like he made the only reason I could build was that he was not ready mentally. He was ready to go over there. I can't imagine there being any other reason why he wouldn't want to. He has, from what I understand, he hasn't really said anything about what the actual reason was, I
thought he said he wasn't mentally ready.
That could have been it. That's maybe where I got this from.
Well, didn't come out of thin air, did you? I'm just saying that
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I know these things.
Well, if Luis Gil's reason for not going is that he wasn't mentally ready, and he was what, 17 at the time, or 16 years old, or 15?
16 or 17, I think.
Okay. It was 16. Yeah, I think it was 16. Regardless, you know what? That's when you kind of buck up. And if I'm his dad, I'm saying, listen, dude, just, buck up and get the hell over there. Soccer's your life, man, right? You're going to get to go hang out with Arsene freaking Wenger and learn soccer.
Well, he's probably not going to get the offer a second time.
No.
He will be 20 roughly when his contract with MLS expires. And it's a prime time for him to move abroad. And if he's had he's getting some playing time with Real Salt Lake right now. If he has some time to develop here in MLS to be able to make the move as a professional, maybe he'll move to obviously a lesser option. But it is what it is. You know
what it is, Brett? 80% of the young players that decide to do MLS, it's a freaking black hole, and it's a straight ticket to the NASL and the USL and not much of a career at all. So if you want... Now, granted, MLS is doing better building up their academies, and I hope that does make a difference, and it seems to be slowly but surely making a difference. Still, if I'm Luis Gil, this day and age, I get on that train, I get on that plane, and I'm off to England, and guess what? I'm playing and I'm learning from some of the very best technicians, minds of soccer in the world. I'm not sitting on the bench in the MLS.
Well, and with that, we jump back to Marc Pelosi, which was the whole topic here to begin with, and we sort of take off on a giant skew. If Liverpool is offering him a professional contract,
sign it.
He obviously can still go and play for the youth teams, the academy team if he's young enough, and also their reserves and their U23, or if they have a U23, I'm not sure.
I would hope so.
England has. But he can still go over there. He can still develop as a youth player, and he'd still get paid as a professional. just because that's how it works. He has to be in order for him to go over there. He can't just go over there and join the academy. He has to be getting paid a contract because well, he's from the U.S.
That's fine.
Regardless, if Liverpool is actually offering him this, I suspect
that's what his agent said.
I really hope he's going to go.
He better.
But he might not pan out at Liverpool. That's neither here nor there. But it's an opportunity that few people in the U.S., few players ever get.
Yeah.
And he should take it. He had mentioned how UCLA is going to be his option if he decides to go to college. I think that would be a massive mistake.
Yep.
But that's neither here nor there because that's his option. That's his decision. But I think if Liverpool is offering this, then he should take him up on it.
It's Liverpool. You know, it's one thing if Sunderland comes knocking on your door. Oh, Marc Pelosi. You know, but it's another thing when Arsenal knocks on your door, and it's another thing when Liverpool knocks on your door, and it's another thing when Manchester United knocks on your door or Barcelona knocks on your door. That's when you answer the door, right?
Oh yeah.
Enough of this. Enough of this.
And you know, if I'm taking soccer seriously as a 16, 17-year-old kid, you know, and I'm looking at if Birmingham City came knocking at my door and I was serious about taking soccer, well, seriously as a profession, I would still answer.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I mean, I understand that MLS is offering an option, and you know it's in your backyard to an extent. I know Real Salt Lake's not quite LA or California for that matter, but it's close to F enough.
Yeah, it is.
Even if Birmingham City or some first division club in Germany or France or Spain or Italy come knocking, I'm going to be answering. That's just how I would be. I wouldn't, I'd be taking that option first because I would imagine that the development there would be far superior.
Yeah,
it is.
It is, and it's like being handed 3 aces in poker. Are you going to fold on that? No.
Yeah.
Arsenal starts with an A, right? That's 3 aces. That was given to you, right? You were handed 2 aces to start, and the first flop over card's another ace. Arsenal's there, and Arsene Wenger's going, "Hello, I would want you to come and play for Arsenal." Then that's when you go play for Arsenal, right?
Best impression, by the way. Best impression yet. I like that was great.
That's when you go, Brett. And I think I'm not going to change on that. And I listen, this is not, I don't have anything personal against Luis Gil and his family. I think they made the decision they thought was right at the time. But looking at the way the soccer world works right now, I don't think developing yourself in college soccer in the United States quite yet, or developing yourself in MLS quite yet, if you're a youth player, is necessarily the way to go if you have the opportunity to go to one of the top clubs in Europe and learn your trade and jump to the next level. Would Spector be who he is now? I mean, great. He's not a starter on the United States national team, but would he even be a glint in anyone's eye or a consideration had he not developed his skills at Manchester United? I'm going to tell you, I don't think so.
Yeah. In all honesty, if he didn't do that, he'd probably still be playing with Chicago Fire at this point.
Exactly.
Assuming that Chicago Fire were able to sign him, but that's neither here.
Yeah, he wouldn't even be on the map. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be, and I'm not going to say this as an insult, but he'd another option like Lloyd, whereas Lloyd is a pretty good wingback option, but he is still playing in MLS, and I mean it's the difference. It is the massive difference when you're looking at a player who's playing half and half at West Ham compared to a player who's playing full time at FC Dallas.
And let's not
picking up a roster.
Right, and let's not kid ourselves. Spector played a whole lot of soccer last year at West Ham, even though they got relegated.
Yeah, I want to specify an insult towards Lloyd.
Right, no insult towards Lloyd.
I want to see him get called back up. I'm just saying there's a difference there.
There is a difference. And, listen, there have been players that have started out in some of these great academies and not developed in anything. Kenny Cooper probably got that because his dad knows people. Who's the guy in Chicago that now plays out west that was a former Manchester United guy, injured all the time for Chicago Fire last season? He just got
Torrington.
Yeah. Thornton started out in the Man U system. I always forget his name. So it doesn't always work out, right? Sometimes there was a kid that I can't remember his name right now either. I'm having a big memory.
Seems to be a problem whenever they don't pan out.
Yeah. Listen, there's another kid that played at Arsenal and went through the Arsenal youth system. He's an American. He was doing really well. I can't remember his name right now, but it'll come to me as soon as we stop recording the show. And he got injured and had to quit soccer. But he was well on his way to maybe doing something before that happened.
Yep.
So you got to take the chance when the big clubs come a-calling. All right, Brett, we are out of time, and that has been the Straight Red Card for this evening. Take care, folks.